Attorney's report, authorize Attorney Mills to look at snow plowing contracts. That is additional work in addition to what research and legal opinion was given to us previously. This has to do specifically with contracts and language and statute about contracts and what is a contract and what isn't a contract. I think we already established that we have a contract, it's not written, okay? There's an offer, acceptance, and a payment contract. However, we need legal advice to say, is that sufficient? And that's what we're authorizing the Attorney Mills to look at.
Well, and I was given some examples, some of which I like some of the language, some I don't like. And with respect to the Department of Revenue, it'd be nice to have something, even if it's a half-page sheet that says these people are agreeing to pay this tax. That's basically what it is, special charge.
Okay,
So I'm not looking at a contract as you might be thinking of a contract, I'm thinking more of like a permission slip type thing where you cut off the bottom, you send it to the town with your $35.
$35 is,
Yeah, those are tax, they fill on the taxes.
Yes.
We would never collect $35 from 259 people. Bob can testify to that.
Well, then they would check a box about authorizing the $35 to go onto their tax.
Ask the school on the other referendum questionnaires they got back. How many of these do you think we're gonna get back? And what if somebody doesn't send it back and doesn't agree to it? Then what's the situation?
So
I
my
mean-
grandma that lives on the end of Shorewood Drive, you're gonna plow, but you're not gonna plow this section. And then when the ambulance has to come,
So I mean, invest in Jim's time if we don't have a plan for what if the fifth house on Shorewood doesn't sign? Then what are we going to do? Does that mean we're not going to plow Shorewood because one person doesn't agree?
But Jim's saying for
So-
voting.
Well, why don't you do it the
that's
other way?
idea.
Why don't you say, unless we hear from you, it's assumed accepted, rather than returned?
That's not really much better than what we're doing currently.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
It's a
We're doing
passive
this.
acceptance.
Right.
It's a
You're in
passive
agreement, so
acceptance.
that's why you're kind of.
That's what we've been operating on.
Yeah, passive acceptance. I mean, that's what we've done at in financial aid at colleges.
And I don't believe anyone's actually challenged their tax bill.
No,
I've never gotten a complaint about the $35 fee.
I think we.
Other than
probably
Ted
can't
says
afford a box.
That
Yes,
one year when the
because-
classification of a road changed.
Well,
It's
according to
not
what
a
Greg
private
had
road,
told
it's
me,
documented.
Greg had told me Weber Road was a private road. That's why the charges got put on it.
But that's the only one I can remember,
Yes.
ever.
And that was logistics, that wasn't a matter of doing or not doing.
Right.
That was logistics. So, is that not another state road, is that a road he's not, there now, none of us? So, okay,
I think there should be some kind of disclaimer on the people that live on private roads. That $35, do we explain it on their tax bill at all?
It says
or-
snow
It
plowing.
says snow plowing.
special assessment, snow plowing.
Yeah,
Because we live on a private road or something, or,
Because
Well, even, okay,
you know,
so you're thinking of sending maybe a one-page document that basically says, here's what we've been doing. We add a $35 charge onto your bill. If you wish to opt out, fill this form out and return it to us.
no, I'm
They opt
no.
out.
I'm thinking on the tax bill of people on private roads, there's just the one line that
Just
says,
like it says garbage charge.
Right.
I mean, if it hasn't been a problem, we're making it a problem.
That's
Why
correct,
are we making it a problem?
that's correct. I think it's a mess, actually, that one. Okay, well, the idea here,
Just like we have.
Well, we have two resolutions that say contract.
For the garbage charge.
It doesn't say written contract, but
So the
it'd be
garbage,
nice to have something.
so the garbage charge, is that a resolution or an ordinance?
The garbage charge is a resolution, I believe.
Okay, so we're assuming that everybody, because we have the garbage charge, that they're agreeing to it?
But this this is
That's
separate.
Public service that
So-
all
So it's-
residents.
This is
get.
for
But I
a
don't-
discretionary service the town is providing, and the statute reads as the statute reads.
Okay, well, that's why we want, that's why we got this notice,
Give
we
it
want,
option.
we want to be able to look at this and advise us on which way to go here. And I understand what Gene's saying is, you know, really, okay, the devil's in the details, say the answer is this, well, we don't have an answer yet. We want to get that answer. You know, we kinda think we know what it is, but we don't have it directly yet. So that's what the notice on the agenda is to authorize Jim to look at that. So I think we have to act on that, either we authorize it or we don't.
I make a motion that we authorize Attorney Mills to review snow plowing contracts for private residents.
Second.
All right, we have a motion, a second, discussion. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None, motion carried. Okay, the next item on the agenda, enforcement, the drug ordinance deal. Carla.
Yeah, this is on here because I understand that, Attorney Draper has reached out to you asking the town board to prepare some sort of order.
Yeah,
And I'm out of the loop on that, so,
have you discussed with him last week after we talked?
no, I haven't been authorized,
Okay, you gotta wait till now.
right?
Okay, so what he did is he, again, Attorney Draper is prosecuting this ordinance violation for the town because both our attorney and judge recused themselves, so I guess it got sent to the county and then they designated where it went. And they not,
No, actually, the judge recused himself, so they assigned it to a new court, which was down at that end of the county. And then I contacted Attorney Draper, who's a city of Lake Geneva attorney, to see if he would be a special prosecutor on this case. So I met with him, I turned over my file, that happened last July or August, probably. The last I knew, there was I believe it might have been a second pretrial conference between him and, Carla and John's attorney in September, but I haven't heard anything since.
okay, so he reached out to me and said, he says, here's the way I think this should go, or has to go. And he was in conference with John's attorneys, and they were talking, I don't know what they discussed, but he said, what it would come down to is the chief, our chief of police, with the ordinance in hand, and basically go to the property and create a list of what's gotta go. And then he would give that to the town board, and Attorney Draper saying the town board would then do an order, us do an order, saying, you know, in order to comply with this, you have to do this, you know, remove this stuff, okay, by a set date. I'm going, this is, you know, irregular and different, we need you in the loop to advise us on how we can accomplish that. So he's saying that's the way it's gonna go. I don't know if there's,
Well, great, he's a special prosecutor, he should be drafting an order, and if you want me to review that order, I will.
okay,
And that's the conversation I wanna have with him. You're paying him as a special prosecutor,
right.
why am I even involved in this? At this
Well,
point?
because the board will have to act, and that's what.
And I don't know what he wants in his order, I don't know what he discussed with their attorney.
Okay, alright, so that's what we're authorizing Jim to do here is about
To contact Attorney Draper and find out
what's,
what the heck you need, and then you need to prepare something.
I'll make a motion, for, to allow Attorney Mills to, contact Attorney Draper in regards to the council.
alright, we have a second,
Second.
alright, second discussion. Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? None. Okay, so we'll hear back on that. Okay, public comments period number 2.
She's gonna follow notice.
Public comments period number 2, John?
Don't start yet, Joe, I'm not talking.
I didn't push the button. Zeros.
Thank you. I'd like to give this to Kim and maybe get a copy before we leave, it's, open records request. And then,
Public.
oh,
Open meetings. public.
yeah, okay. fired up. Roughly, got a quick question, what are the survey costs that we do down East Shore Road? How much in dollars and cents?
I would call you, $10.
Okay, thank you. Video retention here, at the town of East Troy, I spoke to Jen, our video statistician up here, and she told me that we only are gonna be saving the videos for 1 year. I think the retention law is supposed to be 7 years, but she said we're just gonna use the CD, the audio recordings, and skate by that way. So maybe that's something we should look into, so we get the things saved for at least 7 years, so people down the road. I will still be recording, I will be putting them up. Mine are all there from 2.5 years ago, so feel free to go help yourself. Okay,
We'll look at that.
yeah, perfect. On the next thing, I don't need to be rushing, but I got a short time frame here. On the next thing, on the agenda, maybe that's what Mills was saying, in the packets, we were put on the agenda and there was not a matching packet to go along with our spot on the agenda. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I also wanna throw out there that with this junk ordinance you guys are referring to, there's two things that are running here. When the former chief left, you gotta wait your turn. When the former chief left, he mailed her 8 tickets and me 8 tickets on the way out of town. And my 8 tickets were for some blocks that I've had on my property for 4 years. He classified them as junk when they're landscaping blocks, okay? That's one issue. The second issue is, the only thing that Carla got the tickets for were her chicken coop, the way we're designing it. There's no looking around, there's no other junk flying around over there. It's the way the chicken coop was designed. Now, I have a video here on my thing, if you want me to play it for you, it's 35 seconds, 38 seconds, and it shows the former chief of us that we had, Chief Jensen, on the property, explaining that everything is in 100% compliance once we get some documentation back from the county on modification of the permit for the storage container, which I have a letter from Darren Schwanke that I got today that covers that. So I have all the bases covered here regarding the junk ordinance stuff. And with that, I yield.
Okay. I need some clarification on you're asking to have the right to come back and just go through my property. The tickets were specifically written, if you did your due diligence and looked at the evidence that the chief turned in, was a cloudy picture of my chicken coop run. R-U-N run. The building's got a permit, it probably is the only chicken coop that's got a permit in the whole county. And I don't see any ordinances how a chicken coop run should be built. That's what the tickets are on, that's what's going on between the attorneys. There aren't any ordinances on the book about a chicken coop run. And now it's coming up where you think you're gonna walk around my property and look at everything. Barney comes in again with pictures that are, haven't changed. He keeps taking pictures. Everything on 1/4 of an acre of that property has been approved by the county. There's some boats that might have changed because we have personal boats. I'm on 6 acres, and I should be able to have on and off boats that we pull off of the lake. They're personal boats, okay? So Barney comes and takes a picture of the same stuff that's been approved back there with some new boats or whatever. If I have the time, I wanna show you what the rest of the property looks at from the road all the way back to maybe 1/4 of what we have remaining. There might be a few other items from my garden going back, but I wanna pass this along. Barney gets to bring in pictures every 2 seconds of the same thing over and over again. I want to have my defense looked at, and you guys look at the pictures of the beginning of my property from the road all the way back. Cause I'm tired of all these skewed pictures the man takes.
My suggestion is provide that to your attorney.
I
Just like I
sure
told you, I'm submitting these photos to Attorney Draper. The town and the town board are really not involved in this issue.
I know,
The two
so
attorneys are.
why does the merry-go-round keep going on and on and on and on and on and on and on? Cause nobody steps up to the plate and goes, enough is enough. They're all angry about, Tim had to take down his fence, so now he's defending Tim. Tim got the heck out of the town, tore down on the fence, I don't have a clue why, it was on my property, and that's probably why.
The posts are
Johnny
still
was
up.
getting this close to telling them to take it off my property. But nobody cares about my rights. I don't need to be perfectly clean, or I'd be clean, but if I can have boats there and everything else, I have a right to do it. Not because it bothers him and Tim.
Okay, thank you.
So I'm all in
I'm-
agreement for,
I'm going
whoever
to-
needs to get, whoever needs to come on. I'm in agreement, but you're looking at the tickets that are written. I'm done with people traipsing around and pushing me around, looking at everything and trying to dig up more things. Cause the ordinances are so poorly written with junk that you allow the, ex-chief of the police to keep moving the goalpost. Tired of it.
Okay, public comment. Anyone else? Bob?
Michelle, I just want to thank you for the clarification on the rate for snowplowing and part-time people. I had the same question. I'm not an attorney, but I think that going down that road, I think everything needs to be transparent. There hasn't been a problem to the best of my knowledge, but how are you gonna address it? I've got 52 residents on our road. If you get 30 of those residents that say, I don't want the snow plowing option, that's gonna increase the cost of plowing for all the other people down on the road as well. So if people opt out, Todd can't just raise his flag, say, oh, this person doesn't want plowing, this person does. You can't chop it up that way and have consistency. So I don't wanna pay more for plowing if another private road, everyone opts out.
Thank you.
Potentially, obviously, they would be foolish to not accept $35 compared to a private contract.
They're still gonna get the benefit of the road being plowed and not have to pay their fair share. Is, I guess, what I'm at after.
I just have one thought on that same thing. Is there a way that you can't do this with a resolution? Won't work?
We have been doing it with a resolution.
Oh, can't you just list all the properties on that resolution? That's just.
But that's still, they don't have any input.
Agreement.
Well,
And not fair.
Well, it is a contract when they remit their $35. But until and unless they remit it, the third prong of a contract isn't met.
But, as I said, nobody has refused payment. So, again, it's offer, acceptance, payment.
Consideration is the payment.
So, it is, but that's why we want to know. So, okay, public comments, anybody else? We good? Good? All right, thank you. Where are we? Licenses and special event permits, any? So, special and pending meetings?
January 15th is the Studies and Communication Day. January 18th is a group of Memorial Park Board. January 23rd is the 26th is the 2022 audit. January 26th at 12 o'clock PM is the special town board meeting with closed session. January 30th at 2:30 PM is the emergency management discussion meeting. That will be an open meeting. January 31st is the last day of in-person tax collection at the East Raycom Hall. February 2nd and 15th are planning commission meetings. February 6th and 20th are communications committee meetings. Starting February 7th, all day in-person absentee voting. February 13th is the next board meeting at 6:30. February 14th at 9 o'clock AM is the public test of the voting equipment. And February 21st is the springtime meeting, which will be for Supreme Court, Wisconsin Supreme Court Justice and the East Troy School Board.
Are those considered primary?
Primary. You have to whittle down the candidates to be who want to be on the APEC.
All right. We're done, we're gonna adjourn, and Jason Bell's here, you're welcome to walk this time checks.
Move to adjourn.
Right.
See you later.
Aye.